I wouldn't wish the way corporations treat me on Mao Zedong or Adolf Hitler. Yeah, I would not wish this on anybody. Getting up, actually being born to be the living correction of the people that misuse the word, and then being studied and manipulated and abused and compared and competing, compared and competing and abused and abused and abused and denied by selfish people. Just I'm 58 years old. I was born in 1966, guys, and my whole life by anybody that was intelligent when I was, a little kid during Easter in the Mormon church and explained to them that was wrong. Most people sit there and go, like my mom, Earl's right, right? She talked to me like an adult. She's good. My mom, both my parents, they ended up getting married. My mom and dad were not into where he's bad and she's good kind of marriage. No, nothing like that. They were looking for someone to be good and smart and faithful and stuff. And it didn't work out because of manipulations through corporations. Not because mom and dad were such radically different people. Okay, mom and dad wanted to adhere to and believe in similar core principle values. As much as my dad doesn't want to admit it, because he's still angry about mom betraying him because she didn't accept his religious perspective. Okay, and then she had a kid that could explain religion better than... Well, when you're the source of a spiritual person that people bases religions off of, okay, you can explain religion to people that are asking, what's religion? And you ever seen that stupid ass movie, Conclave, with Maid in Manhattan dude, and Lord Voldemort? You're like, let me get this straight. You guys are still making movies about this? You have a bunch of nerdy fucking assholes, okay, pretending to be like Jesus and the apostles, getting together and vote and see who's going to be the next Facebook, or, who's going to be the next Ronald McDonald or Colonel Sanders for this corporation, right? That makes lots of money, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? With a bunch of nerds that are nothing like Jesus getting together to see which one's going to pretend to be like Jesus for money. Yeah, and you're like, what? Seriously? No, I'm born Earl, son of Mary and Ralph, Book of Revelation. I was born this way. Like Jesus and Daniel and David. We're born this way. Okay. You don't get a bunch of nerds pretending to be like the people from the Bible, vote to say who's going to pretend to be like the person from the Bible for a corporation. Like the Mormon church does and all those. They all do that. That's what happened when nerds get together and try to be like King David. You get, and beloved, I tell you, even though David was bad, and he asked Jesus to help him and Jesus did it. And it's like, it's not like that. No, you ask help. When you're a faithful person, faithful people throughout time communicate with you. And you ask for help. When I was about 11 or 12 years old in Addie, Washington, 3 dogs were trying to kill my dog Jiggles. Okay. And I'd never encountered a situation like this before. And I know it was King David, okay? I sit there, what do I do? And there was a stack of wood by the apartment that we stayed in because there was wood-burning stoves. And there was a 2x4. And David told me, fast, Earl. It happened so fast. It was just, what do I do? And they're killing her. And so I reached down. He goes, grab the 2x4 and hit them right here, right between the eyes. Hit the one at the neck, then one at the thigh. And the one that was going to come in, he was halfway down the road with his tail between his legs. Yelp, 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 yelp. The other 2 couldn't yelp. They were I knocked the shit out of them. Okay. And Jiggles didn't die. Okay. And so when you get people, okay, David Rockefeller don't have me and that young man by the orange juice talked about that. David Rockefeller don't have the Mac like that. He ain't got it going on like that. David Rockefeller doesn't have anybody as coherent and strong and brave and beautiful as King David to help save his dog from being taken down and killed by 3 tribal dogs in Addie, Washington. Okay? He doesn't have that. And he gets all mad, and I'm never going to let that. I'll still have Tara, and I'll never be treated that way again. They will not kill my dog. Do you see what I'm saying? They're like Anakin from George Lucas's imagination, right? That will never happen to me again. I will make sure that Padme doesn't die. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So you got to understand the people that you're dealing with that are trying to be like the people that they want to be better than, but by nature, they're just not. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. So, I was sitting there, and that one young man, gosh, I had a lot of conversation today in my head at the store. I was getting it on the way there. And on the way there, I told her, I'm beginning to like, I love you, but I'm beginning to like you more and more every day. Okay. And tell Max, I thought we talked about this. And I'm just kidding around, so I'm getting the store right. And she's a woman. I understand her. Okay. She doesn't have trouble listening. She's very emotional. Okay. But I'll check her and then talk to people about it and go. She'll be like, damn it, Parsons. It's like, well, you need to shut up because I need to be right here, right now. Just wake up in the morning when I got my hair in my eyes and you'll say hi. Okay. I'm just kidding around fucking with her because I'm good at I'm funny like that. But, just kidding around. But, well, before I left for the store when I was shaving and cleaning up, I had a conversation in prayer and meditation with Miss Pete. And, she's very confident to the point where it's almost cocky. Okay. And I'm very confident, but I'm not cocky at all. No, I've never been cocky. When people, static, don't start none, won't be none. That's me. Right. And so when people start static, I can be like, okay, that's where you're going to be. And so she's like, and I was like, nah, you couldn't handle, you're too young. And even if you're older, I don't know if you could handle it. Right. And she's like, well, I think this other lady from the Bronx could handle being around me. Yes. And making sure that you're okay and you heal. And then, by September 2026, when you look and feel a lot better, she's, I'm shaking, baking, I helped. And I'm like, yeah, I feel you. I think it's tangible. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm liking Max's and Emmy's mom and more every day. I'm starting to believe that it could be tangible, that she could be a person that helps me recover and hang out with somebody who's, likes Johnny Mathis's Wonderful, and Anita Baker and Nancy Wilson and, and Luther Vandross. Yeah, I like Luther Vandross a lot too. It's not my fault. My mom had better taste than your parents. I'm just kidding around, joking. Just kidding around. No, my mom, during my mom's funeral, okay? My mom, certain things she liked Samba para ti, because Richard prayed that for her. But she wasn't real into Tito Puente. She didn't like Oye Como Va and stuff like that. I love Tito Puente's stuff, right? I love a good merengue, good salsa, good rumba. I like it, okay? Mom did when she got older, but when she was younger, no. And I helped her kind of loosen up a little bit. Ma, I come home, she's drunk and dancing to Sexual Healing. I'm like, Ma, let's get it on. It's better than Sexual Healing. But so at her funeral, the people next to the park where we had the service at her condo were barbecuing and playing Carlos. Boom, 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 boom. I was laughing. Oh, yeah, she was influencing and control. Me and Linda said that she's influencing and controlling just about everything that happened. While me and Linda were going and taking care of her remains and everything, it was like Mom was like, "Here, do this, do that," and then when we went to do the service thing, her control ran away, and it was just everybody, it was interesting. But I don't know if that's the case. I think here, you like this song, I'll play it, make sure somebody's playing this for you, son. It's like, yeah, I see Mom doing that. Or it could be David Rockefeller just manipulating people as a scientist and fucking with our heads, right? You never know, right? And so it's interesting. The one gentleman I talked to about Buddhism, and he goes, what are you trying to say? And it's like, you're a Buddhist? Okay. When would the Buddha ask somebody what they're trying to say instead of just listening to what they're saying? If you're Buddhist, you're enlightened. And so when someone talks to you, you listen to what they say. You don't try to figure out what they're saying. You just simply listen. That's enlightenment, right? And then the one kid where I explained to people that, there are people in this town that I've talked to numerous times in the last 11 years, okay? And every time I try to have a coherent, intelligent conversation with them, they're either belligerent to me or ignore me, okay? And then I talked to this young couple and I said, I know why they're that way. Because when I am finished doing what I'm doing in this valley to stop home invasion through corporations that invade us through debt and trespass and money and have virtual presences in our house, people that don't like me and don't want to hear me, talk to, they have certain things they like to do, like maybe even childhood pornography that they like to indulge in. And they know when people have access to me and what I did and what I'm doing, that's all going to stop, right? And the girl looked at me and goes, oh, that's good, And the guy was having a little trouble with it. He's grappling with it. And I explained it to him, like, what's so hard to understand? What about I just said, right? So I said, these people don't like me because the thing is they have things that they did that are wrong and they don't want people to know I exist. And because in most of them, they have no intent on wanting to stop the things that they're still doing wrong. All right. So when we left, I kept talking. I said, I said, basically, if you want to keep doing that, you can have them in your head, unless, of course, I rip your eyes out, right? And she kind of laughed, and he looked at me like, what? And it's like, but I'm not that type of person. I don't torture people. I just cut your fucking head off, okay? If you sat around all the time remembering the good days when you used to, and telling other people about it when you used to sexually abuse children, okay? I'd say, if you can't stop, that's why I told him the story about Jesus. He said it'd be better to pluck your eye out than have it offend. And then when I left him, I said, well, that's good. I didn't want to upset you. I just wanted you to understand some of the people we live with and what they're capable of. And he said, so, because I need you to help realize through our phones and stuff that we need to stand up for the commands of Jesus so we can live them right now today and not wait. Because you don't want people coming through the phone and abusing her. And he said, oh, I kill you right now. I could kill you right now for saying that. And I'm like sitting there looking at that kid like, you serious? Okay, worse perverts at military intel and at NASA are still trying, okay? You don't walk up to the man who went into Cochise County to shut down home invasion from perverts so we can all live the Lord's Prayer and tell them, oh, I'm having trouble handling this conversation. You're lucky I wouldn't kill you right now for saying that. It's like, you can't. If you say something, okay, you better be able to do it. And if you can't do it, you might want to shut the fuck up, especially when you're talking to the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, right, guys? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So let's load this one up. You show me that ass, I'm going to kick it. And you deserve it. Okay? But if you show me that you're a good person and you want to live love and you love people and you want to live the love of the eternal perfection of faith in God, then hey, orale, good for you and good for me too. All right, peace.